details regarding resistance. We have some terms to learn. Also, we have to deal with different behaviors of resistors for few types of connections. Important terms for further on discussing the chapter 1. There are few terms which we need to discuss before going into the type of resistors. We have one need to get introduced to these terms at this stage and can understand them as we progress further. So first term is resistance. Resistance is the property of a resistor that opposes the flow of current. When alternating current goes through a resistance, a voltage drop is produced that is in phase with the current. Indication or units ohm, and symbol is along the resistance. There are other important terms called resistance and impedance. So resistance, reactance, the resistance offered to alternating current because of the capacitance and inductance present in the circuit can be understood or as reactance. When alternating current goes through a pure reactance, a voltage drop is produced that is 90 degree out of phase with the current. Depending upon the phase which is 90 degree positive angle and or 90 degree minus in negative angle. The reactance can be termed as inductive reactance or capacitive reactance. Induction X, unit ohm, and symbol same as resistance. So we will discuss impedance. Impedance is the effective resistance to alternating current arising from the combined effect of ohmic resistance and reactance. When alternating current goes through the impedance, a voltage drop is produced which is somewhere between 0 degree to 90 degree out of phase with the current. Induction I, unit ohm, symbol conductance. This is the ability of a material to conduct electricity is the reciprocal of resistance. Induction G, unit mhos, and symbol inverse of resistance. Here we will discuss basic electronics. Semiconductors. Semiconductor is a substance whose resistivity lies between the conductors and insulators. The property of resistivity is not the only one that decided a material as a semiconductor, but it has few property as follows. Only one that decided a material as a semiconductor, but it has few property as follows. Semiconductors have the resistivity which is less than insulators and more than conductors. Semiconductors have negative temperature coefficient. The resistance in semiconductor increases with the decreases in temperature and vice versa. The conducting property of a semiconductor changes when a suitable metallic impurity is added to it, which is very important property. Semiconductor devices are extensively used in the field of electronics. The transistor has replaced the bulky vacuum tubes from which the size and cost of device got decreases, and its revolution has kept on increasing its pace, leading to the new invention like integrated electronics. The following illustration shows the classification of semiconductors. The boron impurity when added in small amount provides a number of holes which helps in conduction. All these holes constitute hole current in p-type and transit semiconductor as the conduction takes place through holes. The holes are majority carriers while the electrons are minority carriers. The impurity added here provide holes when an electric field is applied to a p-type semiconductor to which a trivalent impurity is added. The hole travel towards negative electrode but the slow space than electrons. This is called as p-type conductivity. In this p-type conductivity, the valence electrons move from one covalent bond